Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on this video tutorial we're going to make a wreath for fall using one of these little, what are they, 8-inch wreath rings from Dollar Tree. We're going to use some Reader's Digest dictionary or Reader's Digest pages. We're going to use some of this decorative nautical rope. We might possibly use some of these burlap leaves, I'm not sure. We might possibly use a little teeny bit of felt. We're going to use this distress ink stuff in, I think this is English Vintage Photo. I thought I was using English Walnut. Yeah, okay, so Vintage Photo, maybe. And I think that, oh, and a paper plate. We're going to build the center of our wreath on a paper plate. But before I start doing all that, I want to show you some other things that I've done with book pages. I showed this just recently. This was a Christmas decoration that says Noel in like silvery glitter. And inside of it are a whole bunch of these scrolls that I've made just using sheet music. So there's a lot that you can do with these little scrolly things. There's a lot that I have done with them for sure. One thing is I made this wreath. Gosh, probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And it has, I was going through a serious glitter phase. Now I'm going to have glitter everywhere. Let's see. I also made this. This was my first tree topper that I made. This is the same idea, but they're rolled, the sheets are rolled bigger and kind of at an angle. So that's another thing you can do. You can, I also built a Christmas tree. Oh, here it is. There's just so much that you can do with it. With the pages, you can also make some kind of flat wreaths. This was some encyclopedia pages and brown paper and a little bit of my DIY, MagnoliaDIY.com markers. That was 1 year, recent, and this was one that I made several years ago. And they're just cut in the shape of leaves. And this is a mixture of dictionary pages and sheet music. So there are just a ton of crafts that you can do with paper. It could be sheet music, it could be hymnals, it could be band trumpet music, it could be a new book, it could be an old book, it could be a dictionary, it could be a Reader's Digest. And they're almost free, you guys. So we are going to be making a wreath that I'm hoping will look like a sunflower. Did I say any of my normal stuff? As you're hopping on, tell me hello. I like to know that you're here and that I'm not just standing in my craft room talking to my cell phone. Let me know that you're here. Feel free to ask questions. At the end, I'll give you the list of supplies if you want it. Okay. So let's start at the beginning. We need to make some of these rolled up scrolls. And I'm just going to take this Reader's Digest. I got it at Goodwill. I can still use the outside of it as a pretty shelf sitter. I'm just taking some of the pages out in the middle. And this is just an X-Acto knife. And do be careful because these things are sharp. And you're going to take out however many pages you want. The more, the better, I think. And then when you get them out, one side is going to be your jagged edge. You're going to roll that inside so you won't see it. And then you'll have the nice, sharp other sides. And I'll take a stack and I'll start a roll just so that the paper, when I pull it apart individually, isn't as hard to get rolling. Okay, I'm seeing people asking about the paper. Where do you get sheet music and all that? I have picked up almost all of my sheet music at Goodwill, and it was just in the book section, and some of it is old, most of it is new. A friend of mine whose son was in marching band, she gave me a book of marching band music, which was awesome. Hymnals are a little harder to come by. I had somebody send me one. I don't know if I've ever found one at a thrift store or antique store, but you can order those online from some different Etsy dealers. So here's a stack that I did already pre-roll. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start rolling the jagged edge in. And you want a little point. Do you see that? If you want your wreath to come together quicker, then make it wider. I like this narrower, so then I'm just going to take my Surebonder Cool Shot, and I'm going to tack a little bit of glue in here, and there's a roll. Let's do another. I mean, this is so easy. You can do this while you're doing something else, really. And they don't have to all be exactly the same or exactly the same size. You are going to get glue on your hands doing this project, so you definitely want to use a low temperature hot glue gun. Hey Karen from Hot Texas, you know what? I live in Georgia and it's so ridiculously hot if you're watching this live in August of 2023. Whew, I don't even want to go outside. And it's humid. Ugh. We are going to make the pages look aged, so hang on. Oh, and when I was picking this, I have multiple of these Reader's Digest books. When I was picking it out, I wanted one that had kind of yellow pages more than white. So, but you can use any kind of paper you want. It does not have to be Reader's Digest. It doesn't have to be old. Okay, I have a whole pile. If we need to, we'll come back and roll some more, but I don't know if we'll need to or not. Okay, so let me pull my pile over. All right, I am using this, which I just got this recently. I haven't used this Distress ink really ever. Until today. I've seen lots of crafters use it. So I'm just going to open the little ink thing, and I'm just rubbing it on the edges. You can apply that as heavy or not as you want. Let's move this out of the way. You can see how quick this comes together. And I think having this kind of brown on the edges next to this rope will make more sense. Let me just crank these out here. What is everyone doing today? I'm seeing people talking about hymnals, and I know that a lot of churches, when they get new hymnals, or they switch to having, you know, the music on the overhead projector, they will let their congregation take the hymnals. So ask around. You can also buy images of sheet music on the internet, on, I don't know where it is, Etsy or something, and print them on your computer. And then Magnolia has a couple of pieces of sheet music stencils. One is Amazing Grace. I'm trying to think what's the other one. Anyways, if you want to look at those, you can go to magnoliadiy.com. And this dries really quick. It's not too messy also. So it needs a little more glue. Okay, one more and we'll come back to it if we need to roll some more. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how many this is going to take. So this project that we're doing today is inspired by my friend Peggy Denton's yellow bandana sunflower wreath. We're doing something kind of similar. Hers, she cuts the bandanas into a bunch of people and a bunch of pieces, and then she irons or starches them. And then she used zip ties to attach hers to her wreath form. We're just going to use hot glue. Okay, and you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to turn on my fan because my lights make it so hot in here. Woo! Or it could be a hot flash. It's probably a hot flash. So I did all of these before I came live so I could be ready for you guys. All right, and this is a little wreath that's 8 inches. It came from Dollar Tree. It comes in a pack of 2. And I have started to work on it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build the outside first, and then we're gonna do the inside layer, and then I'll show you my paper plate trick that we may end up adding some felt to the back of it. I'm gonna see how it looks. I built my first tree topper on a paper plate as well. You see that? You could use cardboard, but that is so hard to cut. And you can use a paper plate, and I honestly think it probably works just as well. Marlene says she likes the antiquing on the edge of the rolls. Yeah, me too. Okay, so what I am gonna do is finish this top outside row, and all you're gonna do is stick your little tube through the hole and bend the back up. And then I'm gluing it a little bit to the one next to it, just to give it some stability, and then onto itself. And I do want them to all be roughly the same length. So, talk amongst yourselves for a minute and I will crank some of this out. If I had made my little rolls a little bit wider at the top, it would take fewer. And if you really don't care how long it takes you to do, you could do all 3 rows. See how there are 3 rows here? But I don't want to. I'm not that motivated to be crafting all day long. So you're just taking your little roll and folding a bend at the bottom. And then I'm gluing it slightly to the one right next to it. When I was first fiddling around with this, before I started attaching them kind of to each other, they were just slipping all over the place. So then I was like, oh, okay, so I need to make them be slightly touching the one next to them. See how they're all standing up? And you're going to have glue strings for years with this. What do you guys think so far? Did you guys see the post that I made this morning of my friend Peggy Denton's sunflower wreaths that she made with yellow bandanas? That was the inspiration. I sat at her table. She's a creator also. I sat at her table Okay, this one's going to be hard because there's a wire right here. So tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut straight up this. We'll make it work. I sat at her table, or she sat at mine, or we sat at the same table at the conference I was just at for Magnolia. And just for fun to, you know, get to know her a little better, I asked her what was her favorite project of all time. And she showed me a picture on her phone of those sunflower wreaths. Okay, see how I just cut a split in there to make that work, because there was this little bit right here. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna have enough. Shoot. Anyway, she showed it to me and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. That I was planning to share that with you guys all week. I was just waiting till today. And then when I was trying to figure out what did I want to do today, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my take, my kind of spin on her idea. So hopefully she's watching now or at some future point, and she approves. She is definitely a wreath maker, which I am not. See, this is a small 8-inch wreath, but by the time you get these pieces on, it's going to be much bigger looking. I should have maybe done more ahead of time. I was thinking, wow, I'm really with it today. I think this distress ink on the edges really adds a lot. And you could put this inside the house, you could put it outside the house. I would definitely not put it where it could get rained on. Put it on a covered porch if you want to hang it outside. I know I'm not going to have enough. Not to do the inner row, for sure. So we may just do 1/2 of this, and I may have to finish the rest of it off camera. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so let's start on the front row then. Same deal, but I'm making these a little bit shorter, so I'm folding them up a little bit higher, and that's not high enough. And what I'm doing is I'm putting them through the center and out this little spot right there. And then same thing exactly. Gluing it to the one next door to it. Today, yeah, come back, Gloria, and watch the replay. Today, I am also writing a blog post for my blog that will be launching in a week or 2 or 3. So, I'm going to share a ton of other ideas. There's so many crafts that you can make with paper, vintage or not. See how that's coming together? And I think when you see the inside piece, then it will make sense. If you wanted to do this for Christmas, instead of doing the distress ink stuff on it, you could use red glitter or silver glitter. Or you could even paint the edges of your book pages red. So see, I'm coming in the center, and then I'm bringing this around through the loop so that I can glue it to itself. And if those inside pieces get smushed a little flat, you can just pull them out. These Reader's Digests, they always have them at my local Goodwill. You don't have to get one that has a fancy cover or the gold. That does not matter for this project. Maybe you have a book that you've read a couple times that you don't care about anymore, and you could use that. And this could be made out of sheet music, it could be made out of a novel, it could be made out of a dictionary. I am not adverse to cutting up paper. I know some people are. They just feel bad doing that, cutting up books. The only thing I don't cut up, and this is just me, is the Bible. I personally feel like, I don't know, I feel weird. Oops, oh well. Okay, we're going to finish up what I have here, and then we're going to pretend that the bottom half of it is done, and then I'm going to finish that and show you later, because I don't want you to sit and wait. Hey Liz, how are you doing? I don't want you to have to sit and wait forever watching me roll these pages. And I'll definitely take a hair dryer and melt my glue strings when I'm all finished. There's going to be even more glue strings. I'm going to show you in just a minute how to do the center. Do one here and one here, and then we'll move on to the next bit of it. This is definitely not a hard craft at all. It's just a little labor intensive and glue intensive. But it's a super affordable craft. I mean, I have about 62 cents for this little wreath form. Who knows what for these pages? A few cents worth of this. I don't know, $1 or $2 of hot glue. $1.25 for the rope that I'm going to show you what we're going to do with next. 10 cents for a paper plate. I mean, this is super affordable. cool. I'm impressed. So let's see on the back if there's anything that really needs some more glue. All right. The next part is to build the center, and I am torn about whether I want it to be on the front or coming from the back. Tell me what you guys think. I kind of think from the back. I don't know though. Yeah, I think from the back. So that means I need a pin so that I can give myself an idea where to start gluing my rope or how far out to go. This, by the way, is just the center of a paper plate. You could use cardboard, but cardboard is so dang hard to cut, if you ask me. Okay, that gives me a good enough idea. All right, we are using this. And this is, what is it called? Nautical Rope from Dollar Tree. What do you guys think so far? Do with this or this and sprinkle if you're liking it. I want to point out one thing here. And I don't know if you ever noticed, but there are two different thicknesses of this decorative rope. This one is 2.8 ml. It's slightly skinnier. This one is 2.43 ml and it's slightly fatter. Can you see the difference? I want this to go quicker, so I'm going to use the slightly fatter. You could also use this white rope from Dollar Tree if you wanted. But this is what that looks like. They almost always have it. And I like to start from the center. I'm going to cut part of this off that has the tape on it. This is what's going to keep it from fraying. And I'm just going to put a blob in the center of my plate. And then we're going to start winding and gluing it around itself. I'll hold this up in just a second. You could also use jute, but then that's going to take a little bit longer to do because it's thinner, you know. So it just depends on what you're looking for. I have such a short attention span that I like to get things done quickly. Hi, Dolores. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Dawn. How are you doing, Dawn? Does anybody have fun plans for this weekend? It would make a perfect Thanksgiving turkey. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and when I made this tree topper, which is kind of the shape that this is right now, I was thinking the same thing. By the way, this is, I made this like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago maybe? I don't even remember. And I was just totally winging it. I built it on a paper plate. And then I was trying to figure out how can I get it to go on my tree and stay. So I just glued a little piece of ribbon on there and it just slides right on the top of my tree. I haven't used it in a few years, but that was a fun experiment. Okay, let's keep gluing. When I get towards the finish line, I'm going to decide then whether I want it to be coming from the back or the front. But you can see how quick that's coming together. And I'm working on a little doodad sign to go on it. I'll show you that in just a minute. That's just on canvas deck cloth, and I used some of this distress ink and a stencil and black ink, or a brown ink from magnoliadiy.com to do that. hopefully my circle is somewhat centered. Hey Nikki, hi Kimberly, hey Betty. So like I said just a minute ago, get a paper towel, you could build this on a piece of cardboard, but cardboard is so hard to cut, and this is absolutely not going to show. And we might maybe put some brown or tan felt on the back of it to make it us not even know that it's a paper plate. Because look, you cannot see through this rope. You would have no idea that I was cutting corners and used a paper plate instead of a piece of cardboard or a round piece of wood or something. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is that this I ordered recently from Amazon. It came in a set of 4. These are the other 4. This one is antique linen. This one is walnut. And this one is black. So if you want to go look on Amazon and make it easy, just let me know and I'll see if I can figure out my link for how I got there. But I think this adds a lot, and other than that, I ordered this a while back. Pretty much everything else is pretty standard crafting supplies in my house. I don't know if it is for you. Do you have paper plates hanging around? Do you have hot glue? Do you have books, book pages? If you have all those things, you probably have most of what you need for this project. Wow, I can't believe this is using almost a whole thing. Just a teeny bit further, and then we're going to see what we think. Okay, now I'm trying to decide, do I want it to be poking from the back out, or do I want it to lay on the top? I think I want it to lay on the top, and that will honestly make it easier. So I'm going to go around 1 or 2 more times, and then I'm going to trim it, and then I think we will put we'll put this color of felt, cashmere tan felt from Walmart Crafts on the back of our paper plate. So what do you guys think? Would this be a kind of a project that you would take and do and make your own? And if you were going to adapt it to your style or to a particular season that you wanted to make it for, what would you change? Top. Nina says the top. I agree. And it'll be easier. Because then I don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, look how close that is. Wow. I don't have to worry about it exactly fitting. I am going to have to worry about ending my rope. And of course, I don't have any tape in here. Let me think. I could just glue it to itself, and I'm going to cut part of this off at an angle. The tape is what, yeah, see how I did that? The tape is what keeps it from unraveling. And you'll never notice it. Okay, there's just a little bit that I need to trim. when I was getting organized for today to do this, I was thinking to myself, I don't know if it's going to even remotely look or resemble or give a nod to a sunflower, because I'm not using sunflower colors, really. But I think this is pretty decent. What do you guys think? So then I would glue this on top of here, but let's cover the back of it. This will hide the paper plate factor. I'm almost done. I'm hurrying. Okay. This is not a very round center. And I didn't do a very good job cutting it out either. So I'm kind of stretching it, and then I'll trim it. I don't want this to be visible from the front either. Okay, so then I have a couple more things to show you and questions to ask. Let's imagine that is all, that it goes all the way around, okay? What do you guys think? It does kind of resemble a sunflower. Then my next question is, should we use some of these burlap leaves from Dollar Tree? Let's take them out and look. I'm not sure. I don't know where I would put them on, honestly. Tell me what you guys think in the comments, because I just can't decide what I would want to do. Oh, maybe. If I poked them in here and there, some on in the middle, some like on the outside. Whoops, you guys can't see, sorry. What do you think? Do we need the leaves? Do we not need the leaves? I'm having a hard time figuring out where I am. I think if I was gonna do them, I would, and I have a couple different shapes. These are burlap, Dollar Tree, burlap leaves. They're just two different shapes. $1.25 a packet, and I think there's 4 or 5 in each one. And they are wired. So I think if I was gonna do it, where are the two that I just had? I probably would be inclined to, let's just fiddle with this idea for just a second. I don't have to commit to it if I don't like it. This is just a combination of 3, and I would probably pop them. Gosh, my desk is such a disaster. I would pop them like out far enough that you could actually see them. Right here. And then I want to show you this real quick. And then I was thinking I would probably put something on my sunflower on the center hanging off the edge that said either fall or something like that. And Magnolia has a whole bunch of these stencils that are different sizes that have different fall words like autumn, harvest, pumpkin, happy fall, y'all, hay rides. I mean, they have several choices of that. And I just used some brown ink on it. It's dry already, and I'm just going to show you how to do this oxide, this distress ink. This was just a piece of canvas that I pulled to create. I took a little snip and ripped it. And then I frayed up the edges. And I'm just going to take my little I'm not sure how long this takes to dry because I haven't really ever used it before. But, and then I would put this here. I might even get some wood buttons because I think that would be cute. This is a little set of wood buttons from Walmart. There's all kinds of cute ones. And oh, that would be so cute. And do something like that. Which I realize it's hard to see. Since I wasn't able to do the whole thing, it's hard to show you because it's not glued down. And I cannot glue the center down until I finish the 2 rows. But what do you guys think? Do you like it? And then I will use a piece of jute on the back as a hanger. I also might finish the whole thing off just with, after I melt the glue strings with my blow dryer. I might finish the whole thing off with a quick little spray of clear matte sealer spray just on the paper to get that all settled. But from the back, I don't think this is going to look too terrible because that's what you'll see. You're never going to know that it was a paper plate. Yeah, that's not even obvious at all. Let me put that like that. A fiddle. So tell me what you guys think. This is totally doable. You don't have to have any unique abilities to do it other than patience. And the whole thing is probably $4, something like that, or less. But if you want a list of my supplies, like I'll say Reader's Digest pages, I'll include wood buttons, distress ink, canvas duck, the fall word stencil, and some ink. You know, these leaves, I'll sit down and write out the whole list. It's a turkey on the back side. How would I do that? That's a cute idea. Okay, that was Liz that said make it a turkey on the back side. Tell me how. I am going to go sit down and read all of your comments. I'm going to first prepare a complete list of supplies. Don't you hate it when you're watching something on Facebook and they're making a really yummy recipe and then they don't tell you what the ingredients were or where to get them? So just let me know if you want my list of ingredients, my supply list, and I'll be glad to get that to you. Feel free to sprinkle, do a this or a this if you liked it. I liked it. I'm pretty excited. Don't hesitate to ask questions. I'll also get a replay link and I'll include that in case you jumped in the video in the middle and you want to go back and watch the beginning. So, alrighty, well you guys have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. I'll get pictures after I get it complete, which will probably be later tonight. And I'll put those here in these comments as well as just on Facebook. And I will see you guys later. Bye everyone.